Kairouan, also known as Kairouan or Al-Kairouan, is the capital of the Kairouan Governorate in Tunisia. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The city was founded by the Arabs around 670. In the period of Caliph Muawiyah, it became an important center for Sunni Islamic scholarship and Quranic learning, and thus attracting a large number of Muslims from various parts of the world, next only to Mecca and Medina. The Holy Mosque of Uqba is situated in the city. In 2014, the city had about 186,653 inhabitants. Etymology: the name Kairouan is an Arabic corruption of the Persian karvan, meaning military, civilian camp, caravan, or resting place. Geography: Kairouan, the capital of Kairouan Governorate, lies south of Sousse, 50 km from the east coast, 75 km from Monastir and 184 km from Tunis. History: the foundation of Kairouan dates to about the year 670 when the Arab general Uqba ibn Nafi of Emir Muawiyah selected a site in the middle of a dense forest, then infested with wild beasts and reptiles, as the location of a military post for the conquest of the West. Formerly, the city of Kamunir was located where Kairouan now stands. It had housed a Byzantine garrison before the Arab conquest, and stood far from the sea, safe from the continued attacks of the Berbers who had fiercely resisted the Arab invasion. Berber resistance continued, led first by Kusayla, whose troops killed Uqba at Biskra about 15 years after the establishment of the military post, and then by a Berber woman called Al-Qaina who was killed and her army defeated in 702. Subsequently, there occurred a mass conversion of the Berbers to Islam. Kharijites or Islamic outsiders, who formed an egalitarian and puritanical sect, appeared and are still present on the island of Jabbar. In 745, Kharijite Berbers captured Kairouan, which was already at that time a developed city with luxuriant gardens and olive groves. Power struggles continued until Ibrahim ibn al-Aghlab captured Kairouan at the end of the 8th century. In 800, Caliph Harun al-Rashid in Baghdad confirmed Ibrahim as emir and hereditary ruler of Ifriqiya. Ibrahim ibn al-Aghlab founded the Aghlabid dynasty which ruled Ifriqiya between 800 and 909. The new emirs embellished Kairouan and made it their capital. It soon became famous for its wealth and prosperity, reaching the levels of Basra and Kufa and giving Tunisia one of its golden ages long sought after the glorious days of Carthage. The Aghlabites built the Great Mosque and established in it a university that was a center of education both in Islamic thought and in the secular sciences. Its role can be compared to that of the University of Paris in the Middle Ages. In the 9th century, the city became a brilliant focus of Arab and Islamic cultures, attracting scholars from all over the Islamic world. In that period, Imam Sanan and Asad ibn al-Furat made of Kairouan a temple of knowledge and a magnificent center of diffusion of Islamic sciences. The Aghlabids also built palaces, fortifications and fine waterworks of which only the pools remain. From Kairouan, envoys from Charlemagne and the Holy Roman Empire returned with glowing reports of the Aghlabites' palaces, libraries and gardens, and from the crippling taxation imposed to pay for their drunkenness and sundry debaucheries. The Aghlabite also pacified the country and conquered Sicily in 827. In 893, through the mission of Abdullah al-Mahdi, the Kutama Berbers from the west of the country started the movement of the Shiite Fatimids. The year 909 saw the overthrow of the Sunni Aghlabites, who ruled Ifriqiya, and the establishment of the Shiite Fatimid dynasty. During the rule of the Fatimids, Kairouan was neglected and lost its importance. The new rulers resided first in Raqqada but soon moved their capital to the newly built Al-Mahdiya on the coast of modern Tunisia. After succeeding in extending their rule over all of central Maghreb, an area consisting of the modern countries of Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia and Libya, They eventually moved east to Egypt to found Cairo, making it the capital of their vast caliphate and leaving the Zirids as their vassals in Ifriqiya. Governing again from Kairouan, the Zirids led the country through another artistic, commercial and agricultural heyday. Schools and universities flourished. Overseas trade and local manufactures and farm produce ran high, and the courts of the Zirids rulers were centers of refinement that eclipsed those of their European contemporaries. When the Zirids declared their independence from Cairo in their conversion to Sunni Islam in 1045 by giving allegiance to Baghdad, the Fatimid Caliph Maad al-Mustanzir Billah sent as punishment hordes of troublesome Arab tribes to invade Ifriqiya. These invaders so utterly destroyed Kairouan in 1057 that it never regained its former importance, and their influx was a major factor in the spread of nomadism in areas where agriculture had previously been dominant. Some 1,700 years of intermittent but continual progress was undone within a decade, as in most part of the country the land was laid to waste for nearly 2 centuries. In the 13th century, under the prosperous Hafsids dynasty that ruled Ifriqiya, the city started to emerge from its ruins. It is only under the Husainid dynasty that Kairouan started to find an honorable place in the country and throughout the Islamic world. In 1881, Kairouan was taken by the French, after which non-Muslims were allowed access to the city. History of the Jews in Kairouan. Jews were among the original settlers of Kairouan, and the community played an important role in Jewish history, having been a world center of Talmudic and Halakhic scholarship for at least 3 generations. The community disbanded in 1270 CE when the Hafsids forbade non-Muslims from living in the city. The remaining Jews were forced to convert to Islam, or to leave. Climate. Religion. The most important mosque in the city is the Great Mosque of Sidi Uqba, also known as the Great Mosque of Kairouan. It has been said that 7 pilgrimages to this mosque is considered the equivalent of 1 pilgrimage to Mecca. After its establishment, Kairouan became an Islamic and Quranic learning center in North Africa. An article by Professor Kwesi Pra describes how during the medieval period, Kairouan was considered the 4th holiest city in Islam after Mecca, Medina and Jerusalem. Today, many consider the city as the 4th holiest in Islam. In memory of Sufi saints, Sufi festivals are held in the city. At the time of its greatest splendor, between the 9th and 11th centuries AD, Kairouan was one of the greatest centers of Islamic civilization, and its reputation as a hotbed of scholarship covered the entire Maghreb. During this period, the Great Mosque of Kairouan was both a place of prayer and a center for teaching Islamic sciences under the Maliki current. One may conceivably compare its role to that of the University of Paris during the Middle Ages. In addition to studies on the deepening of religious thought and Maliki jurisprudence, the mosque also hosted various courses in secular subjects such as mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and botany. The transmission of knowledge was assured by prominent scholars and theologians, which included Sanan ibn Sa'id and Asad ibn al-Furat, eminent jurists who contributed greatly to the dissemination of the Maliki thought, Ishaq ibn Imran and ibn al-Jazar in medicine, Abbas al-Kairouan and Abd al-Monem al-Kandai in mathematics. Thus the mosque, headquarters of a prestigious university with a large library containing a large number of scientific and theological works, was the most remarkable intellectual and cultural center in North Africa during the 9th, 10th and 11th centuries. 88 Main sites. Great Mosque of Sidi Uqba. The city's main attraction is the Great Mosque of Sidi Uqba, which is said to largely consist of its original building materials. In fact, most of the column stems and capitals were taken from ruins of earlier period buildings, while others were produced locally. There are 414 marble, granite and porphyry columns in the mosque. Almost all were taken from the ruins of Carthage. Previously, it was forbidden to count them, on pain of blinding. The Great Mosque of Kairouan is considered as one of the most important monuments of Islamic civilization as well as a worldwide architectural masterpiece. Founded by Arab general Uqba ibn Nafi in 670 CE, the present aspect of the mosque dates from the 9th century. The Great Mosque of Sidi Uqba has a great historical importance as the ancestor of all the mosques in the Western Islamic world. Mosque of the Three Gates. The Mosque of the Three Gates was founded in 866. Its facade is a notable example of Islamic architecture. It has 3 arched doorways surmounted by 3 inscriptions in Kufic script, interspersed with floral and geometrical reliefs and topped by a carved frieze. The first inscription includes the verses 70-71 in the Surah 33 of Quran. The small minaret was added during the restoration works held under the Hafsid dynasty. The prayer hall has a nave and 2 aisles, divided by arched columns, parallel to the Qibla wall. Mosque of the Barber. The mausoleum of Sidi Sahib, generally known as the Mosque of the Barber, is actually a zuwara located inside the city walls. It was built by the Muradid Hamuda Pasha Bey and Murad II Bey. In its present state, the monument dates from the 17th century. The mosque is a veneration place for Abu Zama al-Balawi, a companion of the Prophet Muhammad, who, according to a legend, had saved for himself 3 hairs of Muhammad's beard, hence the edifice's name. The sepulchre place is accessed from a cloister-like court with richly decorated ceramics and stuccos. Other buildings. Kairouan is also home to 2 large water reservoirs called Iglabid basins. Mosque of Ansar, Mosque al-Bay. The souk, in the Medina Quarter, which is surrounded by walls, from which the entrance gates can be seen in the distance. Products that are sold in the souk include carpets, vases and goods made of leather. Food. Kairouan is known for its pastries. In popular culture, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, the street scenes in Cairo were filmed in Kairouan. Twin towns.